Hey, sorry everybody. We had a little technical issue. Due to the hurricane, we do not have our normal producer in and software today, and I apologize for that. We were live for the show, and our video got interrupted. Our internet went down again. Thank you, Anthony, for joining in. Again, our internet just went down right during our live show, so we are reconnecting here. We're reconnecting so that we can finish up just a couple of points, but we were just talking about, and you can go back and look at the previous post where we were doing the live show. We were just talking about some non-negotiables. I talked about the fact that as a real estate agent, one of my non-negotiables currently is every time I send an email out, it's going to be a video email so that we can personally connect with that client on the other side. And this works especially well if it's a cold lead, right? If it's someone that we have not spoken to yet. If we're, maybe it was an internet inquiry, right? And we haven't been able to connect with them by phone. We send them a video email, and what it does is, number one, it increases the open rate by over 400%, because we know that the consumer, as much as we are as realtors paying attention to our emails because it's a vital part of our business, right? It doesn't mean the rest of the consumers are, right? Consumers aren't necessarily paying that much attention to their emails anymore. But when you send a video email over and it doesn't have a link that you have to go to, it's just literally right in front of them. All they do is press play, right? It's like a big image with play on the button. And to take that up another notch, a good friend of mine, Elise Kephart, in the automobile business, she is an amazing expert. She was one of the pioneers when it comes to interacting with clients through video messaging. One of the things that she does is she has a little dry erase board, and she actually puts it right up in front of the camera the first few seconds, and it might say, "Hi Dave, hi Mary, hi Susan, it's Elise," whatever. The point is that when they get this message notification that they have a video email message, and when they look on the screen, it's got their name going, hi Joanne, right? It really gets their attention. So that's a real nifty little trick that I learned, or not, I won't call it a trick because that sounds a little unethical, right? But it's a nice little attention getter, and allows you to, and then what happens is it increases the open rate over 400%, right? That's without the little whiteboard with the name on it. So the cool thing is, not only does it increase your open rate, but now when that customer or client hits that play button, not only do they get to hear your message, and it's not a text message. Not that there's anything wrong with text, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to send an email, we have to write in the email, right? We have to text write in the email. And when that happens, you lose all the senses, right? The movement, the excitement, the passion, the message, right? Someone might read it differently, right? I'm all the time sending text, and when you read it, it's like you can read it 3 different ways, right? There's a bunch of funny videos about how people misread their text messages. So although I'm a fan of texting, obviously, video messaging is amazing because we can not only express ourselves like I'm doing with the hand motions and excitement levels and really getting the point across, inflections, all of that. Thank you, Ricardo Ramirez, for joining. By the way, if you don't follow Ricardo, make sure that you do. He does a radio show, and I believe it's weekly, Ricardo. You can make a comment and maybe even put a link on here to your show, but it's in Spanish, so if you are bilingual or you speak Spanish, great show to tune into. But where I was going with that is, that's one of my new non-negotiables, right? I'm going to send that video email out to everyone because it gives us a connection right away. People are able to actually put a name with the face. We can also tell them what to expect, and it kind of takes down that wall from someone who may be a little hesitant to pick up the phone and answer your phone call because they don't know what you're going to say. They don't know what you're going to be like. They don't know who you are, right? So if you get a cold incoming lead, or even if it's what we might call a warm lead, if you haven't met them in person, this video email goes a long way. And then I continue to do it, by the way, with my clients, because now when I want to send a message to a client or talk to them about something, right, I can do it just like this, just like I'm talking with you, and it comes across so much better. They can look at it at their leisure. And by the way, when you use I put a link in the previous, our broadcast got interrupted because our internet went down. Sorry about that, but we're coming off the after effects of Hurricane Irma. So go back to the previous post and you'll see where I posted a link for a free 14-day trial, video email trial. But the cool thing about this video email is that not only is it impressive to a client and really helps kind of communicate your message more accurately and raises your open rate with emails, but it also, you get a notification as soon as they view the email. So you know that they viewed that video. You know that they saw your message, right? And depending on the type of lead and what's going on with your email, it gives you a great opportunity to reach out to them after that point, right? Where they'll actually take the call or be looking forward to taking your call. So that is one of my non-negotiables. Today we were talking on the show about your non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables in this business? What are you either doing or you've eliminated and it's non-negotiable, right? So we were already near the end of the show. We're talking about recommendations. Another recommendation that I'm going to give to you is training, right? Training. You know, I'm big on training. I hire myself out as a trainer, both in the car business where I came from and now in real estate. And I train on the things. I am not the trainer that says that I'm going to train on everything in real estate because I am not the expert in everything in real estate, right? In the car business, I can tackle almost anything in the car business after 27 years. But in real estate, I focus on training on the things that I know that I can train on. So I spent 18 months with a new home builder. So I understand the opportunities in new home construction for realtors that aren't in new construction or not working for a builder, right? So those are the types of things I train on in real estate. I also train on marketing, how to get out in front of people and how to do certain things like this broadcast and podcast. If you need help, if you're wanting to do something like this or you need help with anything, let me know. But when it comes to training, I have to say this, and because we're near at the end of the show, you see my boot camp t-shirt on. I do consult and train with a company called Serial Sales Pro. It's really for all industries, a huge market or footprint in the car business. Now branching off into all types of sales. David Villa, the CEO and lead trainer, founder of Serial Sales Pro, is a best-selling author, writes for Forbes magazine on a regular basis, just released another new book called Lead or Be Lunch. He does several shows. In fact, one of his shows, his internet podcast, just got picked up, and he'll be with a local radio station broadcasting to all of Tampa Bay and beyond here next week, I believe that starts. So, hey, Shaka Dyson, friend from the car business. Thank you, Shaka. Hope you're doing well, my friend. But the point is that, and now that we're ending near the end of this broadcast, I want to share with you because because of the hurricane, we don't have our normal software system up where I can run a commercial and things like that. So I'm just going to tell you about a couple of things. And by the way, Ricardo Ramirez said yes, he does have his radio show on Tuesdays, investment and real estate. See more. I can't see the bottom part of that, but he's going to put up the link for us for all of you that want to tune into his show. But we have, for realtors specifically, I'm going to be part of, I've been so fortunate to be a part of it, but we have, I believe, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 national speakers that are going to be speaking at an upcoming boot camp for real estate agents here in the local Tampa Bay area, and it's called Sold, right? That's what we're after, right? Whether you have a buyer or a seller, it needs to get sold, right? So that's the name of the boot camp. It's simply that, Sold. It is a one-day event, and it is we've got industry experts, and then we've got people that are sales experts. So we're going to give you the best of both worlds, right? We're going to key in on some things that are relevant right now in the real estate industry, and we're going to get into some hardcore sold, that's right, some hardcore sales training, right? How to own the phone, for example. How to own the phone, right? What to say, how to respond, how to react, what closing is about, what closing is like in real estate and beyond, right? We're going to be talking about opportunities, marketing. By the way, it's a marketing company that puts on this entire event. So if you want to be a part of that, that's going to be October, I believe 23rd and possibly 24th. I think we're doing a one-day event, but I think we're going to do back-to-back because tickets are selling so quickly. Let me share with you. I'm going to post a link on how to get to that boot camp. And here's the cool part: is that boot camp is the cost is only $329. You're going to get a full day's training with myself. I'll be focusing on the new home opportunities with new home builders. Deborah just hopped in. Thank you, Deborah. And Deborah's with Keller Williams, and she's familiar with the time that I spent in the new construction side of things. So I'll be talking about how realtors can take advantage of new home construction, especially here in the Bay Area where it's absolutely booming, and there are builders and new communities everywhere, right? It's like, I don't know how you can't be focused on that in Hillsborough County. It's so huge. But here's the thing. We're going to focus on that. We've got Leah Povey Turner. Leah Turner is a national speaker, speaks at the International Building Show every year. Lots of local big events. She's sought after on a regular basis. She's going to be teaching on how to get more out of qualifying and discovering with your clients so that it saves you a lot of time, and not only recognizing objections, but how to overcome them. And recognizing what is really truly an objection. You know, sometimes we try to overcome an observation. And that's what Leah talks about a lot, is that a lot of times our clients are just making an observation, right? And we go into a defensive mode and start trying to come back with all these rebuttals when it's simply not even something that we have to overcome. You know, we might have a client come in and say, you know, wow, the backyard's a little bit small. Well, we don't necessarily have to defend that, right? That's an observation. It's not necessarily an objection. So that's something that Leah focuses on. She's a national trainer, amazing trainer. I would go to every opportunity I had to see her. She's going to be part of the event. We've got David Villa. Are you kidding me? This guy's a best-selling author. And I see Matt Koenig's in. Matt Koenig knows David Villa. David Villa is kind of like a celebrity status almost in the car business, in the auto industry. I co-host the show with him, Auto Dealer Live, still to this day every week. We get in front of dealers all over the country, participate in big dealer conferences. Dave's a keynote speaker, is a best-selling author. He's a writer for Forbes magazine. He's a guy that borrowed $800 and now does $15 to $20 million a year in business in a very small company. This is a chance. And by the way, he's on the phone every day. Every day, hundreds of phone calls, him and his team. So this is an opportunity to get all of that at this boot camp coming up here locally in the Tampa Bay area. And you don't have to travel, right? If you're here in our audience, because we've only got, I think, 50 total seats for this event. So that's going to fill up so fast. If you're out of the area, great, come on in. But if you're local, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's $329, and now I'm going to tell you what you're going to get as a bonus that's worth, I won't say it's worth more than the training, because honestly, if you go to the training, it's going to make you, I always say that training is the best ROI that you can get. And why? Because it's going to make you money the rest of your life or the rest of your career, right? I can say that with conviction because I can remember learning things in the 80s that make me a lot of money today, right, when I first got into sales. So here's the thing. On top of the training that you'll receive for coming to this event, you're going to get a free, it's included, a professionally produced commercial. What realtor, please show me the realtor that does not want a professionally produced 30-second commercial that they can put on their website, they can use it on TV, they can use it for social media marketing, of course, emails to clients, testimonials. I mean, you name it, right? It's going to be an amazing gift for coming to this event. You'll leave a different person. You'll leave in a better place. But enough of that. I don't want to pitch it anymore. But it was the end of the show. I definitely wanted to share that because we were talking today about non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables? What are you going to do every single day when you get up to invest in yourself? Get out there and do something that's going to make your business grow, right? So if you're interested in that, by the way, just private message me. I'll make sure I'm going to post the link on where to go, where to sign up for that. You're more than welcome to. Thank you, Michelle B, for joining in. We're just kind of closing out the show. We did get a broadcast interruption, so if you've tuned in or you're just tuning in, make sure you go back to the previous post and check it out because of the hurricane. We've got some situations here locally, but we'll be back next week with everything up and running, our professional software, our normal broadcast, our commercials. We'll have all that in next week as we recoup from this hurricane. Okay, you posted the video email. And my wife just posted the link to the free 14-day trial of the video email that we talked about as well. I wish you the best in your business this week. Get out and close something. I appreciate you tuning in. And now it's time for my traditional seminar. Sounds good, Michelle. Michelle, it's going to be amazing. I mean, I can't tell you, like, if I weren't there as one of the guests, I would definitely be signing up for it, because I'm telling you right now. First of all, if you're not familiar with Serial Sales Pro and their facility and the event, they literally valet park you when you roll up, and it's a red carpet reception, a lot of social media interaction. It's like a Grammy red carpet interview ahead of time. It's very interactive. So other than just sitting back and listening to people like traditional seminars, this one gets nitty gritty, right? She sells. Dina says she sells. That's right. Michelle Curtin does sell. She sells some homes, baby. Moving them, flipping them, flipping them, flipping them. Sold, under contract, up, deposit, up, home inspection, up, closing, funded, hello, hashtag boom. Anyway, so that's it for this week. Make sure that you're reaching out. Make sure you tune in next week when we're back for our regular show, professionally produced instead of what you had to deal with me today. And I'll see you guys. We got some great, amazing guests coming up. You definitely want to stay tuned in. And I didn't even talk about, by the way, the opportunities, and shame on me, but the opportunities with the show itself, Under Contract Live. Look, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, this show reaches typically about 1,500 to 2,500 realtors each week, and we're really just getting started. So if you're trying to get your message to realtors and you want an inexpensive way, instead of spending $2,000 to go be a part of an event where you're going to hopefully talk to a couple hundred realtors, why not join us as a partner and get in front of thousands of realtors every single week, right? At a very low cost, I might add, just to keep this show up and running and going to new heights, right? Where we can do red carpet interviews at your event. We can promote your event. We can have you on as a guest if we deem you valuable to our audience, right? And we can also play a part in doing a live show at your event. There's what we can do for your event, the bottom line, or your company, is actually completely unlimited. We have the capability with Under Contract Live to do almost anything. If you can dream it, we're actually capable of doing it. So we've had some great experiences, and we're doing a lot more. So make sure that you reach out to us for any of and all of those opportunities. And I'd like to thank the current sponsors and affiliates of our show. BombBomb Video Email, thank you for your support. Serial Sales Pro, thank you for your support. RMT Media Productions, thank you for your support. And Flamingo Lawn Care here in Riverview, Florida, thank you for your support. And we will see you next week on Under Contract Live. Hashtag boom.